Many people around here remember November 11th, 1978, the day the Connor Hotel collapsed. What they don't remember is the legacy the hotel left behind. I'm Chris Warner. We're going to tell you about a book that's chronicling that legacy and why the hotel is so important to the city of Joplin.
President Biden calls for stricter gun laws in the aftermath of a mass shooting at a Boulder, Colorado grocery store.
The four states' most watched news starts now.
Joplin celebrates its 148th birthday by revisiting the history of the Connor Hotel. This is KOAM News at 10. Our reception tonight featured a presentation from Dr. Chad Stebbins. He's an MSSU professor and author of a book about the Connor Hotel.
Memories all came rushing through when I read this book, and there were quite a few of them. I was a part of Joplin's centennial in 1973, and we had one of our we had two events there at the Connor Hotel. One was a beard growing contest, and that got rather raucous.
KOAM's Chris Warner spoke to Stebbins and a local historian about the work that went into creating the book and the Connor Hotel's history.
November 11th, 1978, the day the Connor Hotel collapsed.
Well, so many people remember where they were in 1978 when the Connor Hotel collapsed prematurely just prior to a scheduled demolition.
Dr. Chad Stebbins from MSSU decided to write a book about the Connor because people need to remember its legacy.
This book tells the story of how it originated, the $1 million that Mr. Connor spent building it, all the extravagances that went into it, all the famous people who stayed there.
Brad Belk, Joplin's community historian, says those stories are what matter the most.
It is so meaningful to our past, and it has even more meaning since there's nothing there left. And so how do we tell those stories but through rich stories, and Chad captured that very well.
But he didn't capture it overnight.
A few years ago, I started wondering, well, is there enough material to write a book about the Connor? And I started doing my research, and it turns out there was far more than enough.
It took 4 years of grueling research to track down all the stories the Connor had to share.
The Connor Hotel was so important in people's lives in the sense of either they were eating, dining, dancing, seeing loved ones there. It was, when I think of the clubs, it started the Joplin Historical Society, the Rotary Club. Our organizations began there, and they held their meetings.
Stebbins hopes his book will keep alive the city's lost history.
Well, so many people today really have a regret that the Connor was torn down in 1978. They sure wish that the building could have been saved, that along with the Keystone Hotel across the street. It'd be so fantastic if we could have these legacies from yesterday still standing at 4th and Main.
In downtown Joplin, Chris Warner, KOAM News.
Stebbins says you can buy the book online through Amazon. In 1978, when the Connor Hotel collapsed a day early during demolition, 2 workers were killed. But days later, a third man, Alfred Summers, was found alive, buried in the rubble. We talked with Summers about that experience in a special report that aired on KOAM News in 2009. You'll find a link to that report in this story at KOAMnewsnow.com. Checking in with Doug Heddy now after what's been a kind of cool, damp, windy day.
Yeah, not the best of days for us today. A lot of clouds. We had on and off showers, even a few thunder showers last night into the morning hours. But most of the day we sat into lower 50, so kind of chilly. It was windy out there. Thankfully, the winds will slowly decrease for us as we go through the overnight hours for us tonight. Still socked in the clouds. The clouds will break up, so once they do, our temperatures will drop off as this storm system rolls away from us. But look at system number 2 out across the southwestern parts of the U.S. And of course, that's going to roll in by tomorrow night. As of right now, we're okay. We're sitting into lower 50s. I think we'll drop back upper 30s later on tonight. The farther away this storm system gets, the less the winds will be. So by tomorrow morning, they won't be very strong. 39 to start, 64. So a pretty good day for us tomorrow. We'll talk more about storm systems here in just a bit.
All right, catch you then. Thanks, Doug. Pittsburgh State University is going online with its new degree option. It's an Associate of Applied Science in Career and Technical Education degree. It's for people who'd like to teach in their current career field at a high school or community college.
And so how do we grow teachers across the state and even across the nation in the career and technical area? We're seeing a big demand as far as for CTE teachers, and so we're just helping to meet that demand.
I always wanted to be a teacher and I always wanted to have a college degree, and working with PSU in this program is going to help me achieve that.
The new program officially starts this coming fall. Joplin Health Department reports a new coronavirus-related death. Officials say the patient was a 62-year-old woman. This death brings the city's total count now to 129. Starting next week, all Oklahomans 16 and older will be eligible for a COVID-19 vaccine. The state made the announcement today. This will open up eligibility to 500,000 Oklahomans older than 16. But those under 18 will be slightly more limited. The Pfizer vaccine is the only vaccine that's been approved for 16 and 17-year-olds. The Moderna and Johnson & Johnson vaccines are approved for those 18 and older. All adults in Missouri will be eligible for COVID-19 vaccinations on April 9th. In the meantime, Freeman Hospital continues to work to get all eligible Missourians vaccinated now. On Thursday, Freeman Health System will host a vaccine clinic. It's by appointment only. You can make an appointment by calling 502-SHOT. Again, that's 502-SHOT. You can also register on Freeman's website. Still ahead, the latest as authorities continue to investigate the mass killing of 10 people at a Boulder, Colorado grocery store. And the Biden administration is once again extending the deadline to enroll for health care through the ACA. New details have emerged in a mass shooting that left 10 people dead in Colorado. Crime that came less than a week after 8 people were fatally shot in Georgia. Danya Bacchus has the latest.
Police have identified the victims of Monday's mass shooting at a Boulder, Colorado supermarket.
Our hearts go out to all the victims killed during this senseless act of violence.
3 were employees of the King Superstore. Another was among the initial first responders at the scene. Officer Eric Talley was an 11-year police veteran and the father of 7 children.
We can never thank Officer Talley or his family enough for their sacrifice, but we will not forget it.
Investigators also announced the name of the alleged gunman.
This suspect has been identified as Ahmad Alyssa, 21 of Arvada. He has been charged with 10 counts of murder in the first degree.
According to court documents, the 21-year-old bought an AR-556 pistol 6 days before the shootings. President Biden called on Congress to ban assault weapons and large-capacity magazines.
It was law for the longest time, and it brought down these mass killings. We should do it again.
The federal assault weapons ban expired in September 2004 after being on the books for a decade. Danya Bacchus, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Police have not suggested a motive for the Boulder shootings. The suspect's relatives are said to have told investigators they believe he suffered from some kind of mental illness. The Biden administration is extending the enrollment period for the Affordable Care Act. The Centers for Medicare and Medicaid said today the new deadline for special enrollment has been pushed back to August 15th. The extension will give Americans more time to sign up or change their insurance in light of the increased subsidies from the recently enacted pandemic aid package. Special open enrollment period began February 15th to help people who had lost jobs because of the pandemic get health insurance coverage. App-only brokerage platform Robinhood filed confidentially for an initial public offering yesterday. That's according to a person familiar with the move. It shows that the trading startup is confident about its growth prospects despite a disastrous few months and a series of public relations nightmares. Those issues included Robinhood's CEO getting hauled before Congress and regulators accusing the company of deceiving customers. The filing indicates Robinhood is forging ahead, planning to capitalize on the retail trading flurry it helped set off with its zero commission business model. The confidential IPO filing lets the company privately file a registration statement with the Securities and Exchange Commission without immediately divulging financial details. Douglas County, Kansas officials say a Wichita man who was serving a 12-year sentence for rape might not face a second trial. Reporter Sean Login has more.
Albert Wilson's attorneys say that this is not the end of this case, and they're working to reach an outcome that doesn't result in another trial. It's after a Douglas County judge last week ruled that Wilson's previous attorney provided ineffective assistance of counsel and thus overturned his 12.5-year prison sentence. Supporters of Wilson gathered outside of the Douglas County Courthouse Tuesday as he walked out with his attorneys. The case, which has gained national attention, dates back to 2016 when the Wichita native and KU student was accused of raping a girl after meeting her at a Lawrence bar and later convicted in 2019. Wilson's new legal team and supporters say in the original trial, Wilson's lawyer didn't introduce text message evidence that could have resulted in a different outcome, and there was no physical evidence of a sexual assault. Tuesday, a judge granted Wilson's pretrial release on bond.
We're going to let the process play out. Albert's a little overwhelmed. He knows what the case has meant. He's also respectful of the fact that there are people on the other side of this that have a different perspective, even though we disagree with it. So he has carried himself with strength and honor and class all the way through.
The Douglas County District Attorney, who was not part of the DA's office when this case was tried, says during Tuesday's hearing she is also looking to come to a resolution before another trial. Wilson's next court appearance is scheduled for May 13th.
Again, that was Sean Login reporting. The Greene County, Missouri prosecutor says a man killed his wife and her parents over the weekend because the in-laws arrived for a visit and, quote, they wouldn't leave. Shooting happened Saturday near Stratford. Just after 6:30, officials say the suspect, 50-year-old Jesse Hui, called 911 saying he had just killed 3 of his family members at his home. Hui is charged with 3 counts of first-degree murder in the deaths of 48-year-old Tanya Hui and her parents, 71-year-old Ronald Kohler and 78-year-old Linda Kohler of Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Parents had arrived for a visit after Tanya's recent back surgery. Doug Heddy is up next with his complete forecast, and later Pitt State softball welcomes in southeastern Oklahoma in a non-conference matchup. Jacob Leonard has the highlights in sports.
Well, it definitely turned out to be kind of a dreary day for us today, as we had the showers last night and, of course, some on and off showers throughout the morning hours. Most of the afternoon just cloudy, windy, kind of cold. You can see about 1/4 inch of rain. For the month, we're at 5 1/4 inches, so it's been pretty wet through the month of March. Great time lapse, Indigo Sky Casino and Resort, of course. Indigo, a little bit of sunshine late in the day just outside of Seneca, Missouri. But temps, not as warm as what we saw over the past couple days. Still mid-60s yesterday. Today, most of us into lower 50s, but we're going to flip it once again tomorrow, as we should go back into the low to mid-60s for highs, which will be nice to see. 51 in Pittsburgh, 53 in Miami, 54 in Neosho. Carthage is sitting at 53 degrees, and the winds have been strong all day long. They are diminishing a bit. The farther away the storm system gets, the lighter the winds become, and that's what we're going to see throughout the overnight hours tonight. Still a lot of clouds, but we are all dry. These clouds will slowly break up. So we're holding into lower 50s, but once the clouds start to break up later on tonight, that's when our temperatures will drop off about 10 degrees or so. One system out, next system is building out across parts of Arizona. So that's going to be our next system that will start to affect us tomorrow night and then heading into Thursday. So let's go through time for us tonight. Partly cloudy skies, temperatures 39, 40 degrees by morning. A lot of clouds again tomorrow. Mostly cloudy skies. We are going to get a little bit of sunshine, but at least not as windy, and temperatures a little bit warmer. We'll start at 39, 55 by noon. High temp is 64. West winds at about 5 to 10. Now, I am going to throw in a slight chance for a shower by late afternoon into the evening hours. Most of this is going to hold off until tomorrow night. We'll start to get showers, even a few thunderstorms rolling in, especially after midnight. None of these strong, none of these severe, so we don't have to worry about that. One batch rolls through by Thursday morning, and then it's just kind of hit and miss on Thursday, on and off, batches of showers and a few thunder showers, very similar to what we had today. Clouds, wet, dreary, windy, mid-50s. So Thursday, just like what we saw today. We do rebound. Friday looks great. We start to warm back up into the upper 60s. We'll be near 70 on Saturday, and then a cold front's going to roll through. This is going to give us a few showers late Saturday, but we'll be out of here by Sunday. Sunday looks great. Monday looks great. And then additional storm systems will roll in by the middle of next week. So 39 tonight. Let's go 64 tomorrow. Showers increase by evening. On and off showers and thunderstorms on Thursday. High of only 54, but the rest of the days look good. 68 Friday, 67 Saturday, 64 on Sunday, into lower 70s early next week. So let's go a little bit farther down the road. After our storm system next Tuesday, so on the 31st, we cool down a little bit, but we get rain Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And then everybody remembers the Arctic blast, the polar vortex that we saw in the middle of February. That does return, just modified. So you can see the 4th through about the 9th. It's going to be a chilly week. We're going to have on and off showers, but it's that part of the pattern which is returning. But as you can see, it stays pretty active over the next few weeks.
Like a lot of people, I keep looking at the weekend forecast. It's time of year to get out and do yard work.
Yeah, they all look fairly decent. So.
Yeah, not bad. Thanks, Doug. Coming up in sports, Kansas Jayhawks exit the NCAA tournament following that historic loss to USC. Plus, Carl Junction Baseball aims for a 3-0 start against Monette. Jacob Linder joins us with that and more after the break.
The Carl Junction Bulldogs are 2-0 to start the baseball season. CJ beat Lebanon and Neosho over the weekend to open their schedule, outscoring those two teams 24-2. Now today, the Bulldogs back on the field facing Monette at Joe Becker Stadium in Joplin. Top of the first, Tanner Wright hits it to the left side. RBI ground out brings Jason Garner home. Cubs lead by 1. Bottom of the third, Noah Southern finds some space out in left center. 1 run scores, but look at this. Southern hustles all the way around inside the park homer. Bulldogs get their first lead 2-1. To the 4th, Dylan Eck, showing off the wheels, swipes third. Then Jordan Woodruff pokes it through the left side. Eck trots home. CJ gets the lead to 2. After that, Drew Byer pulls it into right, scores Woodruff and Cole Stewart, but CJ's still not done. Back to Noah Southern this time. Dropping 1 into center, brings home 2 more. Carl Junction runs away with it today to get to 3-0. Dogs win it 10-5. The Pittsburgh State Gorillas are off to a 4-2 start to conference play. The Gorillas are back to MIAA play on Friday at Missouri Southern. First, though, PSU at home today for a non-conference doubleheader against Southeastern Oklahoma. Scoreless in the second until Cammie Zimmerman puts it in the trees. 3-run homer to left center. Gorillas go up 3-0. Next inning, 1 on, Paxton Hayes. Just a pretty swing. High and deep out to right. 2-run shot, the first of 2 homers for Hayes. Pitt State up 5-0. Southeastern Oklahoma, though, forces extra innings, and in the 8th here, Cheyenne Mahey, 2 on, clears the wall in dead center. 3-run jack, and that was enough. Savage Storm take game 1 over Pitt State 10-7. In game 2, Pitt State tries to avoid the sweep, but the Gorillas only managed to score 1, falling 6-1. Next up for Pitt State, they hit the road on Friday for a doubleheader against Missouri Southern. Former Joplin High School running back Isaiah Davis is the Missouri Valley Conference Newcomer of the Week. Davis is a freshman at South Dakota State. In his first start on Saturday against Southern Illinois, rushed for 150 yards and 3 touchdowns. We caught up with Davis earlier today to talk about his big game and earning conference recognition.
You know, things played in my favor. The odds came my way, and I got a chance to go and show out. And again, I just try to take advantage of every opportunity that I get. And like I said earlier, I'm just blessed to be able to play at South Dakota State as a running back. You know, some kids have the opportunity to play college football and to play on Saturdays, afternoons, and mornings, and have the ability to play on TV. The guys that go work every day is just a blessing.
You can check out our full interview with Davis on the sports page at KOAMNewsNow.com. Well, after just 2 games, the Kansas Jayhawks are out of the NCAA tournament. KU got thrown around by USC last night, 85-51 in round 2. USC shot 57% from the field, while Kansas shot about half that, 29%, 18 of 62. It is the worst NCAA tournament loss ever for Kansas.
They were obviously more prepared. They played better, coached better. We shot it miserably, and it's going to be hard to score for us over that length regardless. And they shot it unbelievably well. That's about as poor as we can play, and I'm sure Andy would say that's certainly one of their better moments, better games. So it was a bad combination all the way around for us.
That's it for sports. We're back with more news after this.
Take time now to honor a local veteran, Private First Class Lonzo Myers. The Pittsburgh native served in the U.S. Army, and we are proud to salute Private First Class Lonzo Myers, tonight's four-state hero. Lego is going to space with its new set. No, not an attempt to piece together a Lego set in zero gravity. The toy company is releasing a model of the Discovery Shuttle and Hubble Space Telescope, created to mark the 40th anniversary of the Space Shuttle, first one on April 12th of 1981. The set costs $199 to be available on April 1st. Check back with Doug now for a final look at the weather.
All right, Dow, we're going to see the clouds start to break up a little bit for us tonight. We'll drop back to about 39. 64 tomorrow. A lot of clouds, but in general, pretty good day. I think most of the day is going to be dry. We'll start to see some showers sneaking in tomorrow evening, and then especially tomorrow night, and then Thursday, very similar to what we had today. On and off showers, high temp, 54.
See you tomorrow. Let's take care of ourselves and each other.